Big Rare takes care of Iconic. Shuttle with a hop over. Somehow slips past the first player. Gets the down on the next. Rare does go down. Doesn't get the lock in, but does strike on the side. There it is. The C4 to confirm. And Shuttle sends them out of the border. Sends them off to the side. J9O's gone down in the meantime. So it's a technical 2 versus 2. He's just tucked under the window. They might not know, but he just needs to pop his head up. Maybe hoping somebody was going to swing in. But you assume they're going to confirm that kill in just a second.
I was going to say they might just try and go for a bit of a bait there. Hope someone would come by to pick up. J9O is not going to be the case. Somehow, by the way, you just mentioned it, ASTRALIS managed to get back into it. A huge flank to be on the board allows them to bring it into that 2v2 situation, but it's only up to DP Fire now. We didn't see any of that, but of course the players
He saw everything.
He saw everything. He was going to be able to lock him out, and it's only up to DP Fire now. He's holding long. He's trying to make sure he doesn't get picked up, but it's going to be a head that peeks out. Gives away the information that someone's out there. Someone's coming from the customs area. The drone that confirms that spot, and that also does mean that they can just play around this current position.
Wow, follow the trail down towards the hatch, 40 seconds, and they've done these sort of late pinches before. They're just trying to find DP Fire. Now they know where he is, and the grenade is going to tack onto the drone hole. Doesn't quite get the full read, and they're going to see if they can stick the plant with the cover coming through close. DP Fire, he's going wide around into the corridor, is concerned about the rotation. The rotation's actually almost going to get filled in, but FURIA in a post-plant situation. As soon as they knew where the player was, they could play the objective, set a fresh timer. Swung round. Oh, just survived, but not for very long. FURIA. Now a third's gone by, and once again, FURIA struck, and probably some of the best base they've had. The Candela swung round onto Sandwich. The player's going to be blinded. Forrest digs himself aggressive. Rare gets one, but there's Forrest. Massive kill to make sure they don't get everything, but he does get caught out. They pre-fire the angle. They're hoping and holding. There it is. Don't fight in. There it is. J9O is at least able to hold on to the side, the wings and the echelon of that round. The drone has the ping on where DP Fire is. Rare's watching the back. They swung themselves into the side of the site itself. There's Rare right in the building. You assume he hopped in on the bathroom side, and J9O on the second story needs to make some use of it. Hops out, can't find Miracle. FURIA find their fourth.
With every single round to get more and more loud, I mean, it must be
tucked in, a bit of an awkward angle. This grenade round onto the other side, caught by the first disc. Shuttle with the pre-fire. Jump in. But he has to jump in, and there it is. There is SDK moving his way across, looks for the second. They've ducked themselves around. Iconic is able to find a response.
An important one of that as well, because that keeps it on equal numbers right here. It's going to be Rare that falls as well to Iconic, and it seems like they might have wanted to go for a bit of a quick plant like they have done before, but with the Izami barrier, haven't quite been able to push it through all the way. The thing is, though, we have seen FURIA come back from a 2-4 situation and somehow still win it, somehow still turn it around, so you cannot really count them out. Not even against ASTRALIS right now, who seem to be one of those tournament favorites, but haven't quite had the start yet that they might have wanted. DP takes a lot of damage right there, hopes to go for a bit of a return fire, but almost loses his life there, Iconic.
A bit of a scrappy spray. DP Fire suffers a huge amount of health damage, but he is still in a position to put pressure. The swing comes round. And there's the rest of it done. There's not the second, though. Iconic keeps finding a response, but finally, Handy puts them down, puts them into the 2 versus 2. A minute left. They've been able to win these situations before. Forrest going to see if he can be a difference maker. The close breach, and he's going to respond.
Oh, no.
A huge swing round. A great bit of movement from the side there of ASTRALIS. Miracle, all that's left, 2 versus 1. There's one, there's no! ASTRALIS find their first round.
Forrest just in time, they're going for that re-swing, and this is
confrontation between these two teams so far. It's still border, so you can do a lot of the work outside the map as proven, but there's Fantasy, stopped by J9O on the far side, but still let in with a double kill. And that's really going to start to put the pressure on. Iconic's going to see if he can go for the retake. Hello, Sledge, and almost caught out there. Pulls back. J9O's here to offer some support, but it's DP Fire on the far side that suddenly bites in. Miracle still hanging around on the bathroom window. Gonna see if he can try and get a bit of a hop in here, but ASTRALIS suddenly swing back with some momentum.
ASTRALIS taking a page out of the Elevate book right here, which means if space is left unattended, you start taking it back. And it seems to be working out quite well for them, especially in these last 2 rounds. Managed to turn this one around as well. Rare and Miracle, the last two members standing. Of course, there is still an LMG to go by. There's still some flashbangs that are going to be tossed in, and there's still some nitro cells on the other side they need to be careful of. But if they only manage to find one, suddenly the other player is going to be isolated. And with that 2-ping, they know exactly who one is. A brief fire comes through. The kill does not quite go in. It's going to be a drone somehow to get pulled out, but Rare finds himself on a plant spot.
An accidental fat finger onto the drone key. They're swinging for the fight. There's one, but look around the back stairs. It's iconic. He's coming around onto the side. The pistol spray, but there's a second left. There is Astralis. 2 rounds on the trot, just at the very end of their defensive half.
But there's like so many different small kind of things he can go for there as Forrest finds Rare. It's going to be the entry, but he might be able to crawl into a bit of safety here. That's going to be Shuttle that shuts down Handy here, so that's going to be a double opening for Astralis. Well done by them. And that is definitely not a FURIA we're hoping to go for here. The Finka will get shut down as they lose yet another member, trying to go for a wallbang onto a second, but it's not quite connecting. Someone coming up right next to the office will be shut down by the bearing 9, but the pressure is truly on as DP Fire will be there for the trade.
There it is, and that's what I'd love to see from Astralis. They made sure that every angle, every out, and everything was watched and locked down. Miracle, he's suddenly all that's left. He's going to have a player knock a window or a door very close to him, and he might be able to respond in a second, but, well, he's a million miles away from the site. There it is. The first hit, the slow creep. They've actually gone for the big rotate. They've realized they've got the site itself. Let's get the kit down, lads. A minute 28. We can probably make something happen here. Miracle tucked himself in, and not for very long, put to bed by Forrest. 3-4. Astralis take their first attack.
Pings to come through, barely missed a head there.
Well, anyone that might step into the building, this is something FURIA do like to do, is sort of keep themselves aware. But Border doesn't offer you much more space. There it is. Rare was very aware. There's a second. And they move around quick on the drone again. Did they mean to do that? I don't know. But at this point, at least they're not caught out in and amongst the trade game of it. There's still pings onto that player. There it is. Handy goes down. J9O is able to once again keep the fight into a little bit of the favor. More of a spray over the top. They're looking for that player that slipped into box, taking the drop, but it's Fantasy. Gets caught out by DP Fire. Going around on the backside. They had at least 2 players paying attention.
Right now, some information down below as well, hoping to go for some blind fires through the actual flooring, not able to connect anything onto Rare. And I said it before, Rare is being spotted out in a prime position to actually be isolated, but instead they lost 2 players to him. And he's still going to be a nuisance. He's in that bathroom. You have to drop the hatcher coming from the back just to make sure that he's not going to be of any more trouble. He knows he's going to be pressured up from above. The sledge is out there, but he's just staying put. He's not moving around. His actual feet just showed up. They know he's there. He's shutting down Shuttle potentially right here. He's low on ammo right there. The pistol goes through for both of them, but DP Fire will be able to shut him down eventually.
That was it. DP Fire out of the back came in like a breath of fresh saving grace air, but look at the kit. Currently a little bit further away, and there's SDK sort of keeping it even further. Takes out DP Fire. They've lost the ace, and now it is technically 2 versus 1, but they will be able to get Shuttle back up to his feet. 30 seconds. And they have a lot of destruction done to the site. J9O just takes the drop. Trust the intel. Miracle finds the first, though, around into the back. The quick hop round, slips and sprays and prays his way away. That kid is probably out of range at this, so he's just going to have to try and take the fight. Keeps that LMG going, but it's out of time, and there it is. 5-3.
Get the LMG going, just EMPs to be used, an extra thermic to be placed down, and potentially a second EMP to be tossed in to make sure nothing reactivates. That gets opened up. Smoke canister instantly tossed back out as J9O will be able to find SDK.
Handy bites back, the shield gets dropped. Fantasy is able to find one in small box. It's almost a little bit of red on red, but they're able to just take the head, and now it's suddenly a post-plant almost. They're going to get that locked in. They're too far away. Fantasy is with the blink of an eye on the back of this aforementioned post-plant, and now he's got a lot left to do. He's isolated on the side of office with no real opening work done, pre-firing every which way. And there is one player tucked around on the other side, but now he's in the dangerous game of angles being held, swung, and it's swung. J9O, he bites the last one, and we are 5-4.
Astralis looking to still equalize. Low on HP, no more adrenaline surges left. And if you look at it as well, there is no heart breach available at all at the side of Astralis. So they need to go for a horizontal push at some point. For now, they're just opening up some vertical angles so they can maybe try and dislocate some of these defenders, maybe even pick up a kill to make sure that they have the advantage. But if you look at it from the bigger picture, it's definitely looking like FURIA might have this round in the driver's seat because they need to push in horizontally. FURIA still does have 2 players offside that can start pushing back at any moment.
30 seconds, ticks ominously closer now. The hatch is still locked. They will have to have it remain as they're just going to try and stick it. Caught in the smoke. Miracle gets the lockdown on an already wounded Iconic. They're going to drop the hatch and try and find the fight across towards the workshop on the side of construction. The ping on the player, but they know they don't have to overextend. One's on the second story. They're trying to make a movement onto that. They can get a pre-fire. They've heard the audio. They're ready with the spray. But it's the pre-fire that comes through. 10 seconds now. They've just got to connect that kit with the floor itself. But now it's just DP fire. Caught on the rotate. 2 versus 1. Then it's not for very long. FURIA, they're sitting on map point. Astralis have 2 more chances to take.
I believe that is a fantasy. It actually dies
underneath.
Trying to support from underneath.
There it is. Handy quickly gets the response. The flash comes through. The swing!
Whoa.
And Handy's able to take out DP fire on the top of East Stairs. They prepped a bit of destruction onto the hard wall, but now it's a 3 versus 2. If they can try and isolate one of these players, well, they might be big, but you're still looking at the biggest obstacle of all. In the hands of SDK, it's a clash, and there is no worse time to fight a clash than when you are a man down, because at that point, all they have to do is be there and be a nuisance.
The only real thing you have against that clash is going to be the 2 grenades on Iconic. Otherwise, you need to get close, go for that knife, or be lucky and hit Clash from the back with your guns. And with that said, well, are they even aware at this point? Have they even found the clash yet? Because SDK, well, whilst he has been roaming around, hasn't really been in too much of combat yet this round.
Less than a minute separates FURIA from a full 6 points, and 2 players are the potential break. Iconic, he's led his way in. He's got 2 grenades to try and cook underneath. That one. Oh, the Handy actually just moved in. I was going to say went a bit wide, but Pepper Step doesn't quite go their way. They're able to survive the second. Iconic didn't quite cook it long enough either way. Hey, there's a clash. And they're on that board. There's a bit of the detention, and there's now 30 seconds. You're going to try and have to hit this as the double. There's the reveal on the Azami. They pull themselves back. That is locked. No quick way through. Forrest has to rotate. Iconic's gone sort of solo on this. He's driven all the way. The clash is causing problems. And there's an even bigger one. Rare gets one. Rare gets the next. FURIA get full 3 points, and Astralis leave the day with none.
And they started to get louder and louder.